Good evening. I'm Mike Davison, and I am the acting president of Nerdmasters. I'd like to welcome you to this evening's meeting, and we are following right on the heels of our last meeting where we talked a lot about how you can use different forms of social media to reach out and find your audience. So now the question is, how do you extend your reach? How can you bring involvement away from Zoom and out into the wild? We have a couple presentations on that this evening. I know that sometimes you could promote your club in various ways. For example, you could say, Nerdmasters USA, why get technical advice anywhere else? So you probably have to live in Western Washington to get that particular one, but I think James got it. Anyway, there's lots of different ways to promote your club, but one of them is to give your club visibility to the public out there. And we're going to learn about that this evening. I also wanted to say that I have just learned that we are probably one applicant away from being official. Is that correct, James?
Yes. Very close.
That means the one applicant, someone here this evening could push us over that edge. Is that person you? I know a number of you already have your applications in, but we would like to find that one person who's going to make it all official for us. And I see a number of candidates out there. I'm looking at you there. And we would love to invite to do that. James is taking the applications, and we have information about the costs and everything on that. And we're also going to talk a little bit at the end of the meeting about that. If you, for some reason, can't stay to the end of the meeting, we invite you to go ahead and leave your contact information in chat, or as you go out to fill out the response form at the end, and let us know how we can contact you so we can follow up and make this club a reality. So Nerdmasters, are you ready to go?
Woot woot. I will also be putting a survey in the chat right now for everybody to fill out, and I can follow up with you afterwards if you can give feedback on the meeting, and I'll connect with you and get you information on joining if you fill that out. So please do.
Okay, very good. So what is a Toastmasters meeting without a Toastmaster to lead the way? We have one very special Toastmaster. In fact, she is such a great Toastmaster that you'll find that she's not contained in one, not just one, but two windows on your screen right now. I'd like to introduce our Toastmaster for the evening, Ms. Roberta Craig. Roberta.
Good evening, fellow nerds. Welcome to the October 7th Nerdmasters meeting. Today, we are going to be covering what? Streaming. YouTube and Facebook streaming. Why is it so important that we do this? Okay, now let me ask you, be honest with me. How many of you have stopped to watch a cat video in the past week? Okay, come on, admit it. I know you have a cat video, a dog video, maybe some type of infomercial. Yes, as we're scrolling through that live, constant 24-hour data dump on us every single day, the thing that gets us to stop is what? A cute cat video, a cute infomercial, maybe even a couple of pictures of dogs doing things and admitting to things that they should not have done. That is why being able to create a short little My Why or Wow Factor video for your club has become an incentive for District 32's amazing marketing incentives. Hopefully you have been able to take a look at the amazing marketing incentives that we have pushed out throughout the district. In there, you have the opportunity for your club to win money, district bucks, that can be used to advertise your club. And all it takes is creating a cute little video of why you joined Toastmasters or Wow Factor, or some new skill that you want to share with the public. Today, we have a host of people that are going to help us to get our Zoom live streaming groove on. And our first speaker this evening is Marvin, the magical Marvin Wiley. Many of you know about Marvin. He has been the host of many of our Zoom chats. We've used him for many of our district meetings, but he is truly the magical Marvin of streaming. He converts many of our videos that the district has into YouTube. So he's here tonight to give us those tips and tricks on how to do this. So help me group, pull him out of the back behind the screen, and let's make Marvin the Grand Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Thank you, Roberta. I appreciate that. Yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about live streaming on YouTube. And so we'll be touching on the aspects of the power of YouTube live streams, how to set up a YouTube live stream and the purpose of it, as well as gathering some live stream tools and resources. And there are a few key things that you will need before you're able to live stream on YouTube. The first thing is you need to have a Google account. You also need to create a YouTube account, and you need to verify your YouTube account and enable the live stream on your YouTube account. And we'll walk through those steps here. But first, let's talk about why the live stream on YouTube. Well, for one, when you think about YouTube, it's a collection of various different videos, and people that go to YouTube, they're going there specifically to watch video content. And because of that, that means that you have a very engaged audience on YouTube. And also it was found that about the 35 plus and 55 plus age groups are the fastest growing YouTube demographics. And so essentially there's a lot of people that are on YouTube. People go on, there's like billions of hours that are watched on YouTube or each day. And you can also embed your live stream of your meeting on any website as well, which means that if someone's going to the website, they can see that there's an active meeting that's currently happening. They can click on it, and then they can view it right on there. And you can increase, and as you get an increased amount of viewers, you can have increased membership, so people can be enticed to see how much fun that you're having in your Toastmasters meeting, and then they'll be perhaps interested in joining your meeting as well. And you can also repurpose your live streams for marketing, because you can take highlights and bits and pieces of your live stream, and you can even do Zoom interviews and couple those Zoom interviews with some clips of somebody giving a speech, and then they can be talking about why they joined Toastmasters, and then you can be overlaying some clips from the live stream as well. So, and when it comes to creating a YouTube account, you would first go to youtube.com, and you'll be logged into your Google account. And when you click on the logo up on the top right-hand corner, in this case, it is the Toastmasters logo. It'll have the drop-down where you'll be able to see the settings option. And then when you click on settings, actually, I'm going to make this larger here. When you click on settings, it'll bring up this page here. You'll see add or manage your channels. You click on that, and then it'll enable you to create a new YouTube channel, and you can brand it as your Toastmasters Club name. And then you'll have a YouTube account or a YouTube channel where you'll be able to enable live streaming, and you have to enable it before it works. And it actually takes like 24 hours for it to be enabled. So it's important to do that before your meeting, so that way you know that your live streaming is ready to go. I've been having difficulty trying to locate how to find this particular page on the new YouTube layout, but I was able to find it on the old layout. And essentially this is the link to this page. And then all you do is click on enable for live stream, and you can also click enable longer videos as well. When you click on enable, it'll take you to verifying your YouTube account. And all this is putting in your phone number. And you can ask if you want a text message or a phone call, and it'll send you a verification code that you'll type in the box, and then you'll just click submit. And then that's how you're able to verify your YouTube account. And that has to be done before you're able to YouTube, because otherwise that's going to be a roadblock until you're able to get it verified. And then you'll see this here pop up. It says be ready in 24 hours, which I hope it would be nice if it was immediate, but that's just the way it is. So you have to, so that's why it's important to do it beforehand. Now, there are a couple ways to live stream on YouTube. You can do it directly through Zoom, and we'll walk through how that is and how that can be set up. You can also use live streaming software. So it wouldn't be a Nerdmasters meeting if we're going to talk about software. So that is another option for live streaming. And when you look at the differences, so when you're live streaming directly on Zoom to YouTube, whatever is shown on your screen is what is going to be live stream. If it's in speaker view, it'll be speaker view. If it's in grid view, it'll be grid view. So you just have to be mindful of what's on your screen. That's what will be shown. When live streaming using software, you can add backgrounds, logos, other overlays. You can also incorporate transitions. So you can essentially customize the experience. You can take different aspects of the live stream and you can really specify what is going to be live stream. So it's very, very customizable with using software, but it does take a bit more preparation because you have to set that all the scenes and everything up. And if we have time, we can walk through a little bit of that. But there's some links in the PowerPoint that link to some of the options for the software. So it is a slight learning curve when you're live streaming using software. So it's much easier to live stream directly to Zoom. So that would be the easiest way to start. Another thing when you're directly on Zoom live streaming is only the host is able to live stream. But when you live stream with software, essentially anybody can live stream. All you do is open up the software and you put in the key for the live stream and you click stream, and then it'll stream whatever you would like to be streamed. And here are a couple of the options I was talking about. So there's OBS, which is free. And there's also vMix, which is a paid option. Now, this will be live streaming directly on Zoom. You'll see a more button. So there's a little ellipses button, and then you'll click that and it'll have this pop-up, this pop-up menu. And then one of the options is going to be live stream on YouTube. And you'll click on live stream on YouTube, and it'll take you up to this page. And this is why it's important to have your Google account. So you need to be logged into Google. It's going to ask you what Google account and what YouTube account you want to live stream from. So that's all this page is. And once you select that option, you can click go live. And it's really that simple. So it's a couple buttons. You click go live. And so as long as you log into your Google account, it's a pretty quick transition to get the live stream going. You can also specify if you want it to be public, unlisted, or private. If the live stream is private, essentially that means that the only person that can watch the live stream is going to be the person that's logged in to the Google account that it is live streaming from. If it's unlisted, that means that the only person that can watch the live stream is the person that has the link. And if it's public, then that means that people can search for your live streams. So it will be in the library of live streams on YouTube. So people happen to be looking for live streams, they'll be able to see your live stream on there because it'll be public. And those will be the various privacy settings that you can select. When you click launch the live stream, this is what pops up. So this will be the page. And this is where it will show you exactly what's live streaming. There is a slight delay in the live stream. It's about a 2-second delay. And you'll see on the right, there's a chat box, which is nice because you can get a lot of engagement within your live stream. It'll be best to have somebody that can watch the chat so that they can engage and interact with the people that are chatting as well. So that can be another Toastmaster role within your meeting. Now, up on the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little, it's like a camera looking icon with a plus sign in the middle of it. And if you click that, you'll be able to click the live stream logo, which is kind of, it looks like a satellite type icon. So that'll be the live stream logo, and it'll take you to the live stream control page. Here you'll see your current live stream that's currently happening. And so you can see it on the top, it'll say live now. And then you can click on the live stream. You can either click on the thumbnail, which is the red where it says live. That's essentially the thumbnail, and or the title, or you can click on the title. Either way, and it'll bring up this particular page. And this is where you can see all of the stream settings, the analytics. You can see the stream health. You can still see the chat over on the right-hand side as well. So you're still able to interact on this particular page. And you also see the stream key. And this is where you will find the stream key. It's up on the top. You'll click the camera icon with the plus sign in the middle. And once you click on that, it'll take you to this page, and you'll be able to find, the live stream key. And that's important if you're going to live stream using software. You'll take that key, copy it, and put it in the live stream software. So that way, that essentially tells the software how to connect to your YouTube account. So, and it's really important to keep the live stream or to keep the stream keys safe, because if it gets out, if someone gets your live stream key, then they can live stream on your YouTube account whenever they want to, and there's really nothing you can do about it until you reset the key. And so it's important that you don't make that, or that you don't send that key out and make it public. Now, when you end your live stream, so if you're live streaming on Zoom and then you end the Zoom meeting, that doesn't mean that the live stream has ended. The live stream is still going until you click the end live stream on YouTube. So that can be an easy thing to miss. You'll end up having like a 12 or 24-hour live stream until or however long it takes for you to realize it's still live streaming. And then so you'll click on the end live stream button, and then you'll click end, and then that's how you'll be able to end the live stream. Now this will be fun. So this is how you can embed your live stream video on any website. When you go up on the top, or when we go back here, you see that there's a share button below the video. Once you click on that, there's an embed button. When you click on the embed button, it'll pull up this window, and you can copy all of this code. You don't really have to understand what the code is. You just have to know that when you paste that in where you need to paste it, that it's going to embed. So you'll copy that, and then if you go to a website, like here is our club website for Success Speaks. And so I'm just editing. This is editing the home page. You can click anywhere on the page that you want the video to be displayed. Then you'll click on the YouTube icon that you'll see. It'll pop up this window, and then you'll be able to paste the embedded code there. And you can also make it autoplay if you wanted to. And once you click OK, it will embed the video, and that's how you can embed your live stream video. And that works very similarly on any website. Now, when we look at editing software, so you can edit your live stream and chop it up into different highlight pieces. And a software that I use is called DaVinci Resolve. And it's not the most intuitive thing, so it does take a large learning curve to learn. And there's a lot of courses on lynda.com, especially on YouTube. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube how to use it. And so I really like using DaVinci Resolve. I use it quite often. There are other free options such as Shotcut. There's Lightworks and HitFilm for Express. I heard that Shotcut is very good for beginners. And so the benefit of this is that, like I mentioned before, is you'll be able to edit your live streams and take different highlights. You can put highlights on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and that could be a great way so that you can show people specific things that are happening throughout your meeting. And so, and are there, or I see a few chat messages coming up there, or I suppose we're gonna have a Q&A session though. Now, I'm gonna share something else now. So the first thing I want to share here is, actually, I'm going to share this first here because this is something actually new that I learned. So this is I'm actually testing out a live stream right now, so you can see it. So this is like a customized live stream. Actually, I can go to that right now, actually, first. So you see. I'll just share my entire screen easier. So yeah, this is what OBS looks like. And so so this is a scene, and these are some other things I was messing around with, but yeah, so you can have different scenes and you can switch between the scenes. And then you can like cut and do different transitions. And essentially all you do is you just right click where it says sources, and then you'll be able to add anything that you would like to it. And so I added various different elements and just overlaid them. And I'm going to go back to this window. And this is something new that I just learned, is that you can click this. I probably did that too fast, but up on the up on the top there, it says, if you hover over, it says create a highlight video. And I actually haven't really tested this out yet. I just found this out like a couple hours ago. But this is something where it looks like you can just take bits and pieces of your live stream, and then you can title it whatever you wanted to title it. And then you would essentially create a video from that. So that might be the easiest way to take pieces of your live stream in that way. So that's something that you can explore. It's just that icon there on the live stream page. And so here is what Shotcut looks like. And essentially you would take your video file and you'll click on it from the video feed, and you'll drag it onto the timeline, and then you'll be able to split the different. So there's a button for splitting at the playhead, and then you can make different cuts and move the there, and then yes, you can make different cuts and move the video pieces around. I haven't used Shotcut very much, and if you zoom in, you'll be able to see the waveforms. So oftentimes I like to edit to the waveforms, which are the different waves from the audio. So you can like go where the audio starts, and then that's where you can perhaps make a cut, and then you can just move the stuff around. So that's essentially how that works. And then this is what DaVinci looks like. This is what I use most of the time. There's different shortcuts on DaVinci that I like. So if I like wanted to cut stuff, you can like cut that, and then you can do like ripple cuts and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And then you can, of course, overlay different clips. So if I wanted to, so let's pretend like that's another clip, so you can like overlay it and whatnot. And so there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with DaVinci Resolve. I can talk about that forever, but I just want to give you an idea of what these look like. And so that's the gist of live streaming on YouTube and using the various different pieces of software. And the end result can be that you can have a library of footage to pull from. So if you have a lot of various different live streams for your Toastmasters meetings, you can pull from those live streams, highlight, and then if you're ever to have it or do an interview with anybody, you'll be able to have a library of videos to pull from to have highlights of showing them speaking, just to make a dynamic video that way. And that will conclude. And then are we going to have questions after mine. We're gonna have Tom first.
We're gonna have Tom first, and then we'll get back to our Q&A session.
Okay, perfect. All right, back to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Marvin. I am so excited about this. The idea of our clubs utilizing this technology to really draw the audience in to their Toastmasters club. I keep thinking back to Juanetta Ayers doing a presentation about marketing our clubs. She said that we need to pretend that we're dandelions, spreading our seeds out into the universe. And yet we need to be that great big bear that captures them and drags them back into our cave. And video is the way to drag your audience back into your cave. Our next speaker tonight is Tom Jacobs. Tom Jacobs is an education technologist, Toastmaster, and as many of you know, a self-confessed Facebook addict. I bet he watches a lot of cat videos. Today, Tom will discuss the use of Facebook for live streaming content to all of your Facebook fans. There are 2 easy ways and a hard way. So Tom, could you please tell us what are the easy ways?
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Nerd Masters, and any honored guests. And yes, I did sign up, so the rest of you, come on in. All right, the water's fine. It's all good. All right. So I am going to, hold on just a second. All right, can you see my my screen with the presentation?
Yes, Facebook Live, 3 ways, 2 easy and 1 not so easy.
1 not so easy. Okay. One of the best things about Facebook Live is that it's easy. It's easy to get started. It's easy to do. Not as many hoops to jump through if you want to take the easy route. Then there's also the not so easy route, which luckily Marvin covered a lot of that. So we're going, when it comes to using external software and stuff. So we're gonna work through this and mix it up a little. I'm also gonna try doing a live demo. So doing a live demo over a streaming service with a streaming service. So we'll see how well this runs, okay? Okay, there are 3 ways to start your live streaming. Either on your mobile device, like your phone, and on your computer using your browser, or using a streaming app. That's the not so easy one. That's OBS, which is a lot of the stuff that Marvin talked about earlier. There are 3 major publishing options: to your feed, to a page, and to your group. How many of you actually use Facebook on any given day? Okay.
Way too much.
Way too much. Who has pages that they monitor or maintain on Facebook?
Too many pages.
I hear you. I've got a bunch of them.
Not well maintained.
Yeah. I chose one today that's not well maintained for us to play with today.
That would happen to be the D32 page? No.
Nice. All right. So on your phone, it's really easy. Either in your main feed or on one of your pages or in one of your groups. In the same spot that says what's on your mind, there's a little icon that says live. You push the button and then it goes on to the next piece that says start live video. You also have the choice up at the top to choose where you want it to go. You you can actually apply a filter or even raise money. You can add a donation link to your video, or you can make yourself look like a rabbit while you're doing this. I don't usually use those very much, but you know, to each his own. We may have to use one for Nerdmasters. I don't know. And then after you've done your video, it says it's ended. You have a choice of whether to post it to your timeline. Like you'll notice in this particular video, I put only to me that is going to be published because I made a bunch of these little videos, and anybody who's on my feed would have just been, you know, just been blasted with a whole bunch of 15-second videos. They already get too much for me, so there you go. You also get the choice of to upload an HD, to download it and save it, and then edit it using a lot of the same software that Marvin used or showed. Delete it. I've got a bunch of deleted ones, or then you can take that next step and share it. All right, now we're going to try that very first time of doing a live demo. We'll see this. Nothing goes well in live demos, so we'll see how this works. I'm going to use my phone. I have an iPhone 7. Hold on, I'm going to turn off my virtual background so that you can see my phone. So I have my phone done in landscape or horizontal because only evil people do it this way. Okay. Always go horizontal. Then I'm using I've got a tripod. They're relatively inexpensive. Get one. This one has a little piece that can move up and down in order to keep it tight. Okay. I'm going to put it on my desk. And I'm posting to one of my pages. So I'm going to post the link in chat. Okay. And you can still see my screen? Is that right? With Facebook? Okay. So you'll notice here are 2 short videos that I posted earlier. Now, the best place to do this is from where you can make posts. You'll notice on the page, there's a create live here. So when I hit the button, oh wait, actually, let me go back because I just confused myself and was going through to the desktop version. My apologies.
You skipped a step.
I did. Now let me go to my phone. All right.
Maximized his bandwidth here.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a good thing I upgraded. So you notice I've got it now ready to go to live. Okay. All right. So so right now I'm posting a live video. If you've clicked on the link, let me refresh this. So you'll see me now in my screen on Facebook. Got it running here. And it's really throwing me off because I see my mouth moving in a different time than I am actually talking. And one of the benefits, of using a tripod is that you can just set it up and make it go. And then when it's done, I can hit finish. And right now it's saying ending live video, and it's going to get ready to share. So I check there's a spot that says post to your timeline, upload in HD, or hit share. I started this from the page, so it's going to post into the page. I chose to do that so I wouldn't send it to everybody on my Facebook feed, and so this will just share to this page. And now, if I refresh the page, there's the new one that's 1 minute long, right? So that was easy from the phone, just a few seconds, right? As long as you have a page or a group to post it to, it's all good. You just start there. Next is from the computer. It's actually it takes a few more steps to do it from your desktop, but it's still really simple. So you navigate to the page that you're managing, and then you click the live video button. That will pop up the next screen for you to choose your source. Remember when Marvin talked about a stream key earlier? That's that first option that's right there. But for most of us, we'll just use the camera. And that would use the camera that's attached to your computer and is your default camera. There's also another one for use pair decoder. I've never used it. I haven't played with it. So we won't talk about that one. Then the next screen that pops up, you choose where to share it to, either to your timeline or to a page. We're going to choose a page, and then you can click the Go Live button. Then you wait for the video to show up and have the live box presented there to actually show that you are live. Sometimes it takes a couple of seconds, up to 20 seconds for it to connect. So don't start talking until you see the live button or see the live box. All right, live demo time. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm going back to the home. Under where it says to create a post, is create live in this section. Again, this is on the page view. If you're just doing it from your feed or your page or your home place, it would just be right under where you'd have that question of what's on your mind. It'd be right there. But here, since it's on the page, click live. And you'll notice that there's a little black screen on here. It says waiting for live video. Can you see that? Is that actually on the screen? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was actually going to be within the browser or not. So you'll notice here that it has the use stream key or use camera. In this case, I'm going to use camera. Then you can select your media source. You can actually do a screen share. I'm going to turn my camera off because it's trying to use my camera from the Zoom. Okay, so I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. Everything will be okay. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so let's do that again. Give it a second to share to page. Notice it says Insightful Technology. So that's the name of my page. Verify this. Always verify which page you're going to send it to. I have like 15 of them, so I always have to check. Then you can check your audience sessions, cross-post to more pages. You can also publish something as a test broadcast. I suggest doing that, especially if you're doing something new or you have a new setup. I did about 10 of these last night. Choose a good title. Demo. Well, let's see if I can bring my camera back. Oh, let me see. I also had OBS loaded, so let's see if I'll come back.
It's still saying that the camera's in use.
Yeah.
Or camera.
Yeah, it's a camera issue. Let me see.
You might not be able to do because the live is designed to be, you might not be able to allot the camera.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it resolved. So it has the little go live button down on the lower left. And then, so I'm gonna hit go live. You'll notice 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna wait for the live. So now I have the live piece up there. And now I can talk. I can talk to all of you. This is one of those things that when you're doing one of these things, make it personable. We're just having a conversation and allow people to respond. Now, with this on the page, are you able to see this on the page's live page screen? Did it?
Yes.
Yeah, hit refresh. Okay, great. And that's basically it from the computer standpoint. So I'll hit end live video. Then it asks, are you sure? Wait, ended it. It asks for your star rating. You can either view the paste, trim it, which means you can actually edit it a little bit. And then you can create a clip from the video, or you can delete it. I'm just going to go ahead and go to view post. Are you able to see this on the page's live page screen? Did it refresh?
Yeah.
And that's basically it from the. Yep. So there's a little bit of a delay, about a 20-second delay on the screen, or actually even maybe closer to a minute. And I will go ahead and start my video again. Which brings us to the hard way, which is what Marvin kind of walked us through a couple of minutes ago. I like to use OBS, Open Broadcast Software, and it's free, it's open source, it's been around a while, so it's pretty solid. And then I've just got the yellow, and so hitting tips and tricks. The best tips and tricks are to prepare, select a good place to record, get some good lighting, good sound, good background, get a good mic. A Blue Yeti is a good one. It's about $100, but worth the price. Use a conversational tone, because people want to hear conversation, especially on a social media aspect, right? They don't want necessarily the firm professional tone. It's a good conversation piece. That's another thing. Don't worry so much about your ums and ahs or your little faux pas. Right? It's live. People know it's live, and they'll forgive you. This is the world of YouTube and streaming. So kind of get over yourself and just keep moving. Use a good title, hook people in. That's another thing, a common Toastmaster thing. So get that good title. And then share with your friends, share with everybody, share with the D32 website, however you want to do it for your clubs. Most of our clubs have Facebook pages, so you can do it right from there. And with that, I am done, and we can now move on to questions and answers.
Thank you very much, Thomas. I have to restate a comment that has been presented by James that both Marvin and Thomas were just so prepared for tonight. It was wonderful being able to show us those slides, these tips and tricks. And now it's time for you, the audience, to ask your questions. I know I have a few myself, but are there any questions from the audience members for our two speakers tonight? And I'm going to try and monitor the chat line while we are doing this to just keep us all controlled. Any questions? Okay, Jonathan, I see Jonathan's hands raised.
Simple question. If you had to recommend some streamers, who would you recommend?
Let's take that one to Marvin first.
So who would I recommend? So what streamer would I recommend?
Yeah, heck yeah. People who you think epitomize what's been discussed today.
I know. Does anybody know Norbcam? No, or he's a very, very passionate Seahawks fan, and he does a lot of live streams, and I really like his live streams because he has a very cool background. I'm not sure what he uses, but then he has a comment feed that's on the side, so he has a very graphic display with a lot of like Seahawk images and stuff like that, and the background of his live streams. That's the biggest one that's to me. Norbcam, N-O-R-B.
Can you post the spelling in the chat window for us?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Thomas, do you have any streamer that you like following besides yourself?
Actually, I don't follow any streamers. I'm just old. One of my friends has a Friday streaming. He uses Facebook Live to stream whiskey sipping or alcohol sipping. It's called Sipping with the Simpsons. And every Friday for about 2 hours, he just sip whiskey or rum or whatever happens to be on the suggestion list for the week. Very personable. Sips it. Tells you in advance what they're going to be sipping. So if you want to buy and partake at the same time, you can. And that's just really cool. But other than that, I personally don't follow any streamers or even podcasts. It's weird. The rest of my family, they have their favorites, but I'm way too busy with Toastmasters.
Like many of us, you have no life outside of Toastmasters.
It's pretty much.
I think Robin had her hand raised for a few seconds.
Yes, and I have a couple of questions, so I will just ask one and then let you go back to other people and if it can get around to me. One of my most important ones was trying to understand whether the software you were being able to edit with, was that right from the stream where you're not having to download it, or do you have to download it first in order to be able to edit it?
I think you're referring to Thomas. Are you directing your question?
Well, Marvin was the one who had several things that he edited from, and it looked kind of like he was pulling right from the stream instead of having to download it first. So I wanted to check on that.
Oh yeah, for the videos, yeah, essentially, I can walk through how to download the video, and yeah, you'll pull.
Are you always having to download it first before you edit it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So download the video and you take the video file and you put it into the editing software.
So is that what you do when we do these Zoom meetings and we have video clip from the Zoom meetings? Is then you download it into one of these OBS, edit it, and then post it?
Or Kyle takes the file, and I don't know his process, but he ends up giving me the video file, and then I upload it onto YouTube. Is how that goes for those files.
Kyle, can you help us out? How do we go
Sure.
from the Nerdmaster Zoom meeting here? YouTube.
Okay. So the last Nerdmasters meeting, we recorded it. James sent me a link to the recording. I then downloaded it onto my computer. Now, I happen to use VideoPad, which is a fairly simple video editing tool. And I can do a few things on it. I'm not a power user. But what I did is I set the beginning and the end, you know, so I got rid of all the extraneous stuff before and after the primary content. If there's a dead spot somewhere in the middle, like when the sound device meetings, we might break into groups and, you know, in breakout rooms, all of that gets, you know, cut out. And then I take whatever's left and I export it into a MP4 file, and then I'll send it to Marvin for posting up on the district YouTube channel.
Could I ask a quick follow-up question, or to possibly clarify something that Robin was asking about? Roberta?
Okay, go ahead.
Because I think that there's two different kinds of
James?
editing going on here.
You're-
Am I breaking up?
You're sort of freezing on us.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll be back again now.
So,
Or is
so
it?
you're bouncing back off of Robin's question that she had for Marvin about downloading a file.
Right. So there's downloading a file that you've already recorded, trimming it up, editing it, cleaning it up, and then posting it. There's also changing what it looks like while it's streaming. So like in OBS, you can like put a frame around it, or change the background, or put an overlay where you have two different inputs at the same time that are overlaying each other. So that's also editing, and you don't have to download it first to do that kind of stuff. You're doing that while it's going live. And that's a different kind of editing. So you use like OpenShot, you use like VideoPad, like products like Kyle just described, is after the meeting's already done and you want to post it somewhere afterwards. Whereas OBS specifically, and a few ones like that, are more for editing it while it's happening. If I understand that properly.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe Tom or Marvin can elaborate on that a little bit.
Tom, do you have anything to elaborate on this download and magical conversion?
Yeah, so most of my experience, so I don't have a lot of experience with streaming via OBS, but the downloading of the video, moving it into something like Shotcut or Premiere or some other tool. If all you're doing is something easy, like trimming and moving some parts, get a simple, what they call a linear editor. And then that just allows you to just trim and move pieces. Shotcut and some of the others allow you to move things around on the screen. So it gives you some power, but it's a little bit harder. And so that's just my take. I like the nonlinear editors like OpenShot and Shotcut and so on in Premiere. But that takes a while to get used to.
Okay, any other questions before I jump in on mine? Kyle?
So I can see that if I'm streaming on YouTube, YouTube could be recording it and saving it as a file, which I can then download somewhere. And if so, how do I get it?
So at the end, you have the choice of downloading it to your computer, so you can manipulate it there, or you can just leave it on the page. You also have the choice of deleting it from the page. Now, how long they keep it on the other side, who knows? I don't know what they might do with it. on the other side, but yeah, you have the chance of the choice of downloading it.
Okay.
Can I ask one follow-up on that?
Yes, Robin.
It seems like if I didn't choose at the time to download it right now, then I have not been able to figure out how to download it later. Is that the case? If I don't download it then, that I don't get to? Or is there a way to do it later?
Yep.
Yeah, once you complete the once the live stream ends, the videos essentially get logged into your video file, and it works that way on YouTube, and I believe it works that way on Facebook as well. So you'll be able to access it in your videos, and so it'll always be there unless you wanted to delete it. You'll have to delete it yourself, because I think the only things on Facebook that disappear after a certain amount of time are your stories on Facebook. Those only last, I think, like 24 hours. But for any videos you post or live streams, those will last as long as you want them to.
But I didn't look like I could actually download it. If I wanted to then edit it, it looked like yes, I could save it like in my favorites or something, but.
Right.
Okay. I believe Thomas is going to show us here real quickly how to get to those videos.
Yeah, so I just shared it. So under where the post is, there's the 3 ellipses. You click on it, and then there's download the video.
Okay.
You'll get the embed code if you want to embed it somewhere, or just the link, or then you can also edit it.
Okay, thank you very much, Thomas. Any other questions? I have a question myself that I'd like to ask, but since I'm the Toastmaster, I'll let others talk or ask their questions. Yes, Robert.
So maybe just an observation and kind of a question, I guess. So I know Facebook and YouTube both, and somebody mentioned in the comments, difference in quality and resolution. But the file that's saved to Facebook during the stream, is that automatically compressed and quality lost during that? So do you have an option to save an original file that has higher quality that you can use for editing locally and then upload that later, rather than download a already compressed file that you would edit and then upload again, and it gets further compressed and lose more quality? Because I think ultimately we want to put out the best quality. How do we do that?
Oh.
As far as I know, YouTube and Facebook both, they're going to compress the video quite a lot, and so there's always going to be a loss in quality in that way, and I'm not sure if there's any workaround around avoiding that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
The best way to maximize the quality is to increase the rate. Because the higher the bit rate of your video, the better. It's one way that you can kind of compensate it for it, but it does take a bit more bandwidth. Like the higher the bit rate, and also the file size will be a little bit larger if the bit rate is higher.
Right, and I think, Marvin, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you're doing it using OBS, you can set that bit rate and your bandwidth and have a lot more control over what gets actually pumped up, and that you can actually record your stream there locally.
It also does help if you use a good quality camera to begin with. Some of the computer cameras are not as high quality as maybe a phone camera or an actual video type camera that you can download or save actual video clips. My question before we go back to our regular agenda is, our marketing incentives, we have 2 marketing incentives. One is a My Why video and one is a Wow Factor video. These are meant to be just quick 1 to 2 minute videos about why you join Toastmasters or what makes your club special. To our 2 presenters, what would you consider the easiest way to record that video to share with the district?
The easiest way to record will be on your cell phone, I suppose, and then having a tripod and and just hit the record button, and just make sure you have some decent lighting.
Okay.
Yep. That's what I would suggest also. That's the easiest, quickest way. Phone cameras are really good these days, so, and really easy to use.
Yeah, and sometimes it's nice just to film outside. If it's a nice day, you can film like about an hour before the sun's going down. That's the perfect time to film, and so that way you can just utilize nature to help light your video that way.
Right. Yeah, and also use like a cloudy day is good, so that you don't get a lot of striking weird sun and shadows.
Yeah.
Also, you're not squinting as much.
Can I ask a follow-up to that? Now, phone is great, but that's assuming you're, and doing it outside is great, but that's assuming you're just making the video by yourself. If you're doing this in a club meeting, and let's say doing the My Why video as a tabletop exercise in your club, is recording it on Zoom of sufficient quality that we could use it?
I don't really like recording on Zoom. It always messes with the quality quite a lot. I'm a lot of times like, what the heck? Why does it look so pixelated or whatnot? But yeah, it is. Yeah, Zoom. It's hard to get good quality recordings on Zoom, so it's best if you can just record it on the phone itself or on the device itself.
Right. So one of the things that happens with Zoom is that it changes video quality based on your bandwidth. So you could get some weird, you can get a lower quality out of the same camera, or it could be different based on which session you're in.
Okay.
Okay, actually, I think we are at our time. Thank you very much, everyone. And I loved all the interactive. Yes, I have put the link to the District 32 menu incentives. So feel free to go out there and check those out. We have an array of retention, marketing, and distinguished desserts for you to select to help your club through this transition.